Hello, it's Jamie, and with this module, I'm going to show you how to create and learn some basic formulas. So in our spreadsheet, we're going to just type in some values. So as you can see, we've got a small table, and in column A, it says products A, B, and C. Obviously, it says products A, products B, products A, products A, products A again, then product C, then product A, then product B. And in column B, we have 100, 200, 300, 100, 100, 600, 9,000, and 500. So the first one we're going to do is I just want to do a simple formula of just adding up the total. So what we're going to do, go to the top corner of your screen and click onto auto sum, and it says equal sum, open brackets, B1 to B8, close brackets. So obviously just a bit of a recap from our previous modules. What does equals mean? Equals means it's the start of a formula. What does sum mean? That means addition. What's every in that range and add up. Now what we're going to look down at this one is, can you see there's a comma? It says number 1 and number 2. Now sometimes I don't like that explanation that it gives. I think that should say add range 1 or add range 2. Yeah. This says if we actually put a comma, what that would mean is we can add up another range. So if I now just highlight D1 down to D5, then close brackets, all you will see is it adds up that range there. But if we now click into D1 and type in some more values, like 500 or 300, you can see it add up. If I click into D6 and type in 6,000, that won't work because this didn't go down. It only went down to D5. I'm now going to just delete that bit off, and as you can see, we'll only add back B1 to B8. I'm going to delete them data. So what we've just learned on that one is sum means equal adds up all the numbers in a range of cells. And as it said in that prompt, equal sum number 1, comma, and number 2. Now, the comma actually means then. That's the proper term. But what I like to learn is, what does it mean for the formula? So as the word was sum, that comma means add. And if we change that function word, what does it mean for that formula? So in the next formula we're going to do is we're going to learn, which we've done on the previous ones, count. I want to count how many there are there. So if I now click into this one here and then type in equals, type in COUNT, count, open brackets, this is going to count the number of numbers. If I now highlight this one to A1 to A8, then press enter, hopefully, as is 8 in that range, it will say 8. Remember, count only counts numbers. So if this was text, it only counts numbers. And there's a bit of a refresh. On our previous modules, we put count A, which actually adds up the whole range. But I'm going to just have count. Let's just type in the number it was before, which was 200. So what we've learned on this one here is basically counts the number of cells in the range that contain numbers. And obviously it's equals count, and it's basically the, not no range, but it means number range that we've got. Just going to format that to make it look a bit nice and pretty. Now the next bit, I'm just going to create another table below. And we're now going to just do a bit more sorts. I want to know how many product A's there are. I want to know how many product B's are. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to know how many there are, yeah? Now, first of all, I want to just know that there's 5 there. So if we now just go to equals and now type in COUNTIF, and as you can see, if you read the bottom prompt, it says count number of cells in a range that meet a given condition. So we now do open and close brackets, and what you want to do is read that bottom prompt. It now says range, comma, criteria. So the range is A1 to A8. That's where we want to look. And what do I want to count? Well, I want to know whatever's in A13. So let's put a comma. So it's now going to try and count how many product A's there are. Let's do close brackets, then press enter. As you can see, there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we now just repeat that formula below, let's do it now for the equals. Let's do that again. So that'll be count if, open brackets, the range is A1 to A8, comma, and we're now going to do product B, close brackets. There's 2. I know we could use dollar signs, and there is a module that covers this, but I'm just doing this a bit longhand at the moment. So let's go equals. Let's do the last one. Count if, open brackets, highlight the range, comma, choose the product, close brackets, and press enter. So the formula we've just got now, we've just now learnt COUNTIF. So what does COUNTIF do? COUNTIF is basically counts the number within a range that meet a given condition. So equals count, then you have your range, then the comma. Even that means then, learn the comma means what are you looking for to count. So it was the range, and then we looked at that comma was count the criteria. The next one we're going to do, it's a bit more advanced, is SUMIF. So what that means is I want to add up all the products A. So that 100, that 300, that 100, that 100, and that 9,000. I want to add them all up. Now this formula is called SUMIF. So if we now type in equals, let's do SUMIF, open brackets, and what we're now going to do is from that equals SUMIF, we're now going to highlight where it says range at the bottom. Well, where's the range? Well, the range is this part. It's going to look there first. So it's going to look for the products. Then it says comma. The next part in there, we've got range, comma, criteria. That's what we're going to search for. And once it's found all the product A's, we're now going to add up the values. And that'll be the sum range. Press enter. And you can see it's 9,600. So let's repeat that again. Equals SUMIF, open brackets, the range is A1 down to A8, comma, the criteria is obviously A14, which is product B, comma, and now the sum range would be B1 to B8, close brackets. Let's repeat that one more time. Equals SUMIF, open brackets, let's do our range, comma, let's do our criteria, comma, and now let's do our sum range, which will be B1 to B8, in close brackets. Press enter. Now that's just to double check to see if this works. If we click into B16 and do auto sum, well, hopefully that should add up to 8. And if we now do this total here, let's do auto sum again. That will be C13, C15. No. So what we've just now learned is we've learned SUMIF. So what SUMIF does, it adds the specified in a condition or criteria. So as you can see, SUMIF says range, which where it's looking, criteria when it finds the range, then it's sum range, it adds up the list of values. Now just to make this a bit easier to see what we've done, I'm highlighting all them and I'm just pulling them slightly across. And like I've done on my previous courses, I highlight the data, copy, and then paste them in so I can then see how it's been written. And we can do the same for these ones as well. And we can do the same for these values up here as well. The sum formula. And as you can see, we've got our spreadsheet there. So the benefit from that exercise is I can now see, just from a printout, if I really wanted to learn this, I could print this out and then recreate the formulas, that someone has created. So the formulas we've learned today is we've got sum, we then have count, COUNTIF, and SUMIF. But the real purpose of this module was, what does the comma do? The comma means then. But don't learn it as that. Learn it for the formula. For sum, that comma meant add. When we did COUNTIF, the first part meant range, and that comma meant the criteria. What's it going to count? And in SUMIF, the first part was the range, comma. The next bit was the criteria, comma. And that last comma is what is it going to add up. So a real simple way to do it is learn it, learn the comma for the formula. I hope you've enjoyed this module, and I'd like to see you on the second part of this exercise, which is learning an advanced formula by using the same practice of what we've just done. Hope we see you again.